Hi everyone, today we're back again with another episode of Buro Boss Girl. We have here Dian Lee and we're at the gorgeous Pangkalawat Resort. So how do you find the resort today?
It's been amazing and I feel super blessed and very grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Do you think like the place is great for like meditation?
Oh, I think it's amazing. Like I'm really big in staying close with Mother Nature, especially for us who live in the city, because the energy is just different when you're in nature.
When do you usually do your meditation practices? In the morning, at night?
At least twice, like morning when I wake up and just so that I can set an intention to start my day. And then throughout the day, if I'm stuck in traffic, I'll just put on my headphones, turn on a guided meditation on my phone or an app, and then definitely before I sleep, because I have a very active mind, and I find that meditation before going to sleep helps me stay asleep. I think sound bath is definitely a really good tool. Like I love using sound is because a lot of the information that our brain processes through our eyes, like 95% that everything we see through the eyes, and often enough we are a society, I feel like we don't listen enough. So through that, you train your mind to, instead of your mind keep working, you're trying to organize thoughts, you allow yourself to go deeper within yourself.
And you teach sound bath anyway at Be Urban Wellness?
Yes, it's not so much a teaching thing, there's really not much, it's really a safe space. What I always say is I hold space for people to really discover themselves.
How do you usually start your sessions?
For the sound bath, I like to use essential oils because somehow, they just instantly transform you to another state. I usually use alchemy crystal bowls. There's tuning forks, and there's also my partner who does the sound bath with me, Jia, she calls it the human singing bowl, which is our voice. Which is also something of a journey for me to use my voice, because the last time I sang was at my wedding 11 years ago.
Oh, really? You don't even do it in a car or with your kids?
Yeah, I do that, but not publicly.
Okay.
So now I'm trying to use my voice a bit more.
Yeah. You want to show us a bit? Or?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Come to my sound bath. Come to my sound bath.
Okay. What else do you do for your morning rituals?
So for morning, it depends who's sending the kids to school, who's doing the school run. If I'm doing the school run, then it's of course I wake up and then I wake up my kids, send them to school, and then I start my routine after school, after the school run. So I'll come home. I usually start with some yoga stretches. That's how I start my everyday, and then followed by meditation, and then I have my breakfast, and then I go off to start my day. I started yoga because I had a really bad back. I have 7 slip discs, and throughout pregnancy, with my 3 pregnancies, I was in so much pain, and even before I found yoga, I was in so much pain. I was constantly going to chiropractor, going to see an osteopath, acupuncture, you name it, and yoga helped me.
So I have to ask, because your morning sounded so busy. So how do you juggle being like a mother and a wife and an entrepreneur, running several businesses?
So to me, is to prioritize what is important to you, and to delegate where you can delegate, and then also be able to let go or have a more realistic expectation. At a point of my life, I actually felt like I was constantly so overwhelmed because there were so many hats that, women these days are so busy. We have to be a mom, we have to cook dinner, we have to make pineapple tarts. We have to, I know, they're obsessed with pineapple tarts. You have to run a business, you have to do delivery on time, there's so many hats, and then at the same time, you want to be you, right? You don't want to lose the identity of, I'm just this person doing all this thing for other people, and
or get lost in the flow of trying to get everything done.
Exactly, you need to still be you, right? So you need time for that too.
And when you started Healthy Ever After, with originally healthy treats and the soup cleansing, I think I remember you saying also the Healthy Ever After is the same as Happily Ever After.
Yeah, so to me, it's especially for me, finding your Happily Ever After was I think for a lot of girls, it's pretty important, right? And then after a while, you realize, right, like, you know, this healthy ever after that you search for, it's so external. Like, you know, your happiness at the end of the day really does not depend on another person. Your happiness at the end of the day, no matter how, you know, if you're only happy if someone is nice to you, if someone buy you flowers and chocolate and pamper you, what happens when that is all taken away? And then you become so unhappy, you know. So yeah, so to me, it's, you know, a sustainable way to be happy is when you look after yourself and then you find your healthy ever after.
So, and you relaunched your site, right? You revamped your site
last year.
Yes,
we revamped the site. So the site that sells healthy treats and drinks. So we also realized that, you know, having a raw food delivery company, it was great, but we find that the challenges was with raw food. I really wanted it. I really wanted people to have it at its best, you know. So having it packed and delivered to you, being it raw and people eat it after, the experience is just not the same. So that I decided to stop that and just focus the brand to just doing healthy drinks, because I think that is something that, you know, it doesn't change the experience for customers wherever they are, because they can pick it up in the grocery, you have it, it's the same, we can have it delivered to you and it's still the same.
Is there anything else you'll be planning to stock on the site?
Well, we'll be having a lot more different drinks. Like, we're working on a few more really different flavors for the kombucha and the kefir. Only because also I'm a huge fan of kombucha and kefir. I really like this quote from ever since I was a little girl. I saw it and it says, don't wait for the rain to stop, learn to dance in the rain.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
It's so good. Well, thank you for spending the day with us.
Thank you for having me and whisking me away to this beautiful island.
No problem. I mean, we get to come too. So shall we check out the rest of the place then?
Let's do it.